It's live, pal. What did we think of this episode? 9 out of 10? I would agree with that. Anyone else who has an opinion, let me know. Keep writing in the live chats. But this is episode 3 of season 2 of Mandalorian. I loved it. I loved the explanation that we got to finally the helmet question. Why is he wearing a helmet during this period, 5 years after Return of the Jedi? But in every other previous Mandalorian sighting, we did not have any issues with can they see my face? Can they not see my face? Even the people on Death Watch, who are the people who lived, the Mandalorians who lived on the moon of Mandalore, they were exiled there, but they were more into the traditional ways of Mandalorians, which would be more violent and not the pacifist type of regime that freaking Duchess Satine was trying to make. So those people over there are who he is. Whenever he says this is the way, he's talking about those old-fashioned ways when Mandalorians and the Jedi used to war with each other. She mentions Bo Katan, which is actually the same actress who voiced Bo Katan. Definitely not a boy. Same actress. So she was talking about how, look, the Empire is trying to divide us. There's going to be the Mandalorians who are pacifists, and there's gonna be the Mandalorians who are war people. And yeah, we're both Mandalorians. That's what she's trying to get across to him. But he just saw that helmet to come off, and he's just a no, no, this is the way, and he just leaves. After Sasha Banks' character, who is what was her name, Koska Reeves. I'm gonna have to get used to calling her Koska Reeves. I actually wish they would have told us she wasn't Sabine Wren, and maybe let us drop that her name was Koska Reeves. I got no problem if it's going to be a new character. Give me some time to familiarize with the new character's name so that when the show comes on I can know who it is. But it's Sasha Banks. I mean, it is Koska Reeves. It's not even Sasha Banks. What am I talking about? In the end credits, they made sure that her name Mercedes Vernado was posted there. I got to stop saying Sasha Banks now. I got to be accurate. Her name was Koska Reeves in this show, and she showed up when that first Mandalorian came onto the boat. When Din Djarin was freaking locked up and caged up. The first one came down. Boom, 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 boom. At first, I thought, okay, that's got to be Sasha Banks. It was Bo-Katan. Two more came, and I didn't really tell that there was three of them on the thing until all the fighting was over. There was actually three Mandalorians. I know which one was Sasha. The one who did that missile dropkick assisted with the jetpack, Sasha Banks. I saw a fireman's carry take over also to throw someone into the water. That was Sasha Banks, rather Mercedes. And I saw, what else did she do in here? Not really much. I think her body out. Yo, she took out a manticore. Let's not forget that. Went inside. Don't worry. Bo-Katan said, "Don't worry, we got it." We didn't have anything. It was Sasha Banks who it was Koska Reeves who dove into that water, saved Baby Yodes, got him out. Here you go, little one. That was like one of her only lines. She had another line, but sure, she was okay. I think the actress Mercedes Varnado sucks at acting when it comes to speaking roles. And this means WWE, all the backstage stuff. I love you, Bailey. That she never really had cut the mustard. Even when she was in NXT, watching her, she was more like a kid who was pleased to be living her dream. And you can see her be a heel, saying the dirtiest, nastiest things, but she wants to smile because she's on WWE TV and she's got the title. And so I see through it. So that's my voice acting of her analysis. Her body acting, though, it's so much better. We're gonna switch over screens so you can see what I mean. Right. Actually, I should do this, shouldn't I? So that, I don't know, we don't get flagged. But I'm gonna play this scene where she's talking.
So he's still away.
We've been hitting him pretty hard. They scan for life forms as precaution before pushing back.
It's just not good. They scan for life forms as a precaution before pushing or scanning or whatever the hell she said. What I hear is like this person who was giving these lines and she's trying to do the science fiction thing. But that acting though, the body was just chilling here. She's just talking casually, just scoping it out at the same time. There's there's like a level 10 in the way that she communicates with her body. and then everything else wasn't. And that's just knowing how to be a babyface and knowing how to be a heel and being authentic and real in front of a live audience and having to convince a arena of thousands of people, successfully doing that. She knows how to make her body work. As far as the voice went, I did not like whatever it was she said. We gotta scan for precautions. And just stick to saving the baby and little one line things here and there. Maybe this episode was actually longer and they had to cut out lines. That is completely a theory. Because this was a short ass episode. It was like 29 minutes when you erase the recap and when you erase the credits. Inside there was like a 29-minute video episode. It was cool though. It began. What are we saying in here? What's going on, superior? What do you rate this episode? So we begin with a crash landing. Not too exciting for me. I've seen crash landings in Star Wars before, most famously in Episode 2. Also, some Clone War stuff. Remember that time when Ahsoka, when they were on the planet Felucia, it was. I just recently watched this episode. My memory's not that great, but it was on Felucia when Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Anakin were crash landing, and they're like, okay, let's just do our parachutes. Their parachutes were actually these rubber balls that could bounce and bounce and bounce. The art of acting is harder than what it seems, especially in sci-fi. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I wholeheartedly wait, especially in sci-fi. If you are foreign to the sci-fi, then you're like, what do these lines say? What? Yoda? Or what was her line specifically? We're scanning and all that stuff and jumping into hyperspace. If you're foreign to that, I don't think you can execute that properly. But to a Star Wars nerd, I don't think Dave Filoni had any problems being Trapper Wolf when he was speaking his stuff because he believes in it so much. Likewise, in the wrestling world, every time they bring these famous actors into the ring, they just don't work out. Remember Jeremy Piven? They were talking about the pay-per-view SummerSlam. Instead, he called it Summerfest. That's just a misspeak, but it's so yes, it is hard, but it's not because it's sci-fi. I would say it's because it's sci-fi and Mercedes doesn't really watch Star Wars. What's going on, Rod? Yo, just chit-chatting about the Mandalorian, the Sasha Banks episode. The Sasha Banks episode where she was slurping up on a tentacle. Baby Yoda looked at her, and it was the first time where it wasn't the baby who was getting that little cute cutaway. It was Sasha. It was the character named Koska Reeves. Hi. It was a bit of a short episode, but it was funny. I was saying that too. It was a short episode. Was it fun? Absolutely. 9 out of 10. Quality, world building, flashbacks to some historic people like Bo-Katan, like Ahsoka's name getting mentioned. When Ahsoka's name gets mentioned, I'm in there like I can't wait. I suspect we're not going to see Ahsoka Tano in the very next episode, till maybe the end, where she just comes in with her lightsaber, zoom, and who's she there to fight? She's got to fight the Mandalorian. That's how it is in superhero stuff. When two heroes fight, first time they meet each other, when they meet the first time they meet each other, it's a fight. We get the fight out the way, and then all of a sudden everything's good. So maybe Din Djarin might just have a one-on-one with Ahsoka. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be Ahsoka versus the dark saber wielding Gideon dude, and see that clash of sabers. I don't know. And is Sabine with her? Is Ahsoka even a mother? Like she might be. That's what this means. She might be carrying a baby. For all we know, it's been a long time. Maybe she found Ezra. They settled down. I don't know, but this is the time period that they're in where it's been at least 5 years since Return of the Jedi, and according to my memory, Rebels happened right before New Hope. So the original trilogy all happens in 5 years? She'll be 10 years older than what she looked like in the last time we saw her in a cartoon. 10 years is a long time to decide whether or not you want to have kids or not. I'm just saying, Ahsoka could be a mom. I'm interested. If you're a huge nerd in Star Wars and Trek, you have it pinned down because it all makes sense. It's like speaking English or Klingon. I don't watch Star Trek, but I know that much. I know that much. This guy said Trump 2020, inshallah. Why would you say something like that, though? I think he said that so like you can get me to say it, and maybe it. I don't know. I'd guess his ass kick. Ahsoka is a certified badass, depending of the writer. He'd get his ass kicked. Ahsoka is a certified badass, depending on the writer, and who's writing it. That'll be what's his name. LOL. That's gonna be Ahsoka is a certified. Dave Filoni is gonna be the guy who's actually going to be freaking. What was I trying to say? Directing the episode. Now, episode recap from the beginning with my actual thoughts. The landing wasn't too suspenseful. Never had me. Never thought the baby was in danger, or even the eggs in the incubator, even though they tried to cut away to it. But what can I say? That's just me being a cynic. They all made it out of the thing alive. Oh, the ship was wrecked, which was a proper explanation for why Mando had to stay on that planet for so long, and he didn't just leave as soon as he saw the three Mandalorians on helmet. He was like, "Ah, f this planet, I'm going home." No, he had to stay in that world just a little longer. So it it served a purpose. It wasn't just a little comedy of the falling into the water. He says Dank Ferrick a couple times. Koska Reeves, she says Dank Ferrick a couple times. I love the culture that having your own swear word creates. It's beautiful. And then we get mudblood in Star Wars in Harry Potter. You know how that's like not a swear word at all? It's the word mud, it's the word blood, but the way they use it and the way Draco Malfoy says it with such vigor, you mudblood, and Hermione Granger cries and everything. That's a pretty bad thing you should be saying. You could be saying. Dave Filoni directed episode 5. It's gonna be epic. Yes. You said directed in past tense. I guess you're right. Actually, never mind. He directed it when they were filming. Yeah. What did I miss? I don't know. Rewatch the first 12 minutes. You'll see. I was just talking about mostly Sasha Banks. So if you're a wrestling fan, you'll love that. Moff Gideon again too. Oh yeah, he was kind of in here for the first time of the season. That's right. And the way he talked to that dude, it's like, you know what to do. Long live the Empire, aka Hail Hydra, aka I'm gonna kill myself. That was a little bit too familiar for my liking. I dot dot dot. Kinda didn't like it how Baby ate the eggs, but hey, it's kind of showed me that it's just a child that has no idea of his actions, and that maybe he's strong with the dark side. Oh shit, is that what that means? That he's strong with the dark side? I'm gonna agree with the first part of that. He's just a baby. And I was really, what am I doing? Why am I clicking on this guy's fan? Oh, never mind. I thought it was someone else who typed that up. You have the same you have no avatar. You said mudblood. That's what I'm trying to say though. When you say a word like dank ferric, it's like, okay, I'm gonna learn that one. Like SpongeBob has it too. Tartar sauce. It adds more culture, adds more world building to it builds worlds. I like it. So look out for more dank ferrics here on YouTube because can't be demonetized for that. I'm just gonna that's gonna be the new word here, dank ferric. We're gonna help it take off. So they land. Pays the dude. He says I can't the on the dock. The technician says I cannot fix your ship. I can just make it fly again. And yeah, that was true. You see how messy it was inside. It was being like kept together by strings barely attached to it. Barely attached. Time to start playing Hungry Hip Child. Now, I liked the AT-AT crane type thing. That was kind of cool to see. It really didn't hurt the story at all, but it's just a reminder that we have some really intellectual, also immersed in the fan base people who are producing this show. That's all that meant for me. That's when we see Koska Reeves, not Sabine Wren. And, her hair wasn't being covered because she had a whole bunch of colors in there. It was just as the trailer showed her. It was Misty. She was spying on him from far away. The scene happens where the Mon Calamari dude. What's the name of the species? If someone knows, please correct me. but whatever the name of that species is invites him over. The ship happens. I kind of just talked about that. They fight, they go away. Now he pulls up and he finds the brother of the dude that just died, and the Mandalorians come back and pull him and say, "Let's talk to each other. Let's chit chat. Let's explain what's going on here." They make an agreement because Bo-Katan goes, "What do you even know about the Jedi? Nothing." Okay, fine. I'll help you out. We'll do a little mission, and that'll be that. And then you'll get your information. That's that's how it played out. This was epic. The three Mandalorians fighting those stormtroopers, who everyone knows now is just a running joke now that they're not legitimate threats. It's kind of funny. Maybe they're less threatful now that the Empire is down. Like the training budget isn't there anymore, and so they're even worse than they were when they were fighting Han and Leia, and all those times we were supposed to be really afraid back then. Let's use that. Let's just tell ourselves that they were actually credible and hard in Luke's era, and then after they were defunded. That's why they're so easy to take down in this era. Because damn, or the Mandalorians were just so sick. The way that Casca Reese went into that water, got the manticore, the squid thing, and killed that, she would have ate the crate dragon. Mandalorians are wicked. Let's read some more comments. When it comes to some people, one can feel that he's being insulted in another language. I don't know French, but I can get when someone insults me in French. Yeah. The whole Bo-Katan Cara Dune show. No one is gonna be directing whole shows. Oh, like the whole series. I doubt that's happening. It would be better for the whole continuity of one episode flowing into another. However, that's probably not what they want here on Disney Plus. It does feel like every Mandalorian episode is its own contained story, which is something I wish for in comic books. I'm really mad when everything is like part one of a 6-part story. It's very unsatisfying. Here, we just get full, complete stories, new planets all the time with different directors. That's on purpose, I guess. Mon Calamari is the species. Did you see that Pop has already producing a Baby Yoda figure with the egg tank? Oh, the egg tank thing? Oh, nice. I'm not a figure, guys. I'm not a like a collector type thing like that. But it's good for everyone who wants it. Okay, the neighbor species is the Quarren. This episode was short and simple, and I never got why people call the Jedi sorcerers. I mean, the Force isn't magic, is it? Why wouldn't you think it's sorcery? That's easy to see why. Like, here's a hair tie. If someone makes it float like a Jedi can, the same way that Anakin was feeding Padme that pear, that's sorcery. I can see, and he'd be using the Force. It's not a hard. The budget stormtroopers, yeah. It's not a hard leap of imagination. Deborah Chow is doing. I was actually thinking that as I said it. Yeah, Deborah Chow is doing all of Obi-Wan, but is that according to what we know so far? Is it possible that another director will be like here for an episode or two? Or do you know for a fact that it is going to be all of Obi-Wan, which has been delayed again? The fight happens. The villains were villainy. There was a moment in here where it reminded me when Din Djarin says you're changing the terms of the deal. It was sort of Lando Calrissian and Darth Vader. Perhaps you feel you're being treated unfairly. No, of course not. Of course not. Kind of reminded me of that little homage to the old Star Wars stuff, and that's the way you do it. But he was needed. He was needed. That one time they were all shooting him, and he's just like, my best armor can take it. Best car armor can take it. There was only 4 of them, and it felt like 10. That's what more can you say? Only 4 life forms on that thing. Dude turns into a suicide mission, goes away. There is there was almost a cockpit cliche where they're over there killing everyone. Finally, they get to the main cockpit, the main boss, the main guy who's flying, the main guy who's in charge, and they didn't kill him. And I was gonna be like, what the hell? What? I mean, everyone else got a quick death, but this guy's death isn't coming yet. Why? Because he's the main character? Not really. They needed to question him. Bo-Katan asked him, "Where's the dark saber?" In front of Din Djarin. Din Djarin heard that. So maybe when Ahsoka Tano meets up with him, she'll be like, "Wait, is that a lightsaber? Since that one, Bo-Katan called it a dark saber. This is different." When Ahsoka has her white saber. I'm just really, really into that. Paid attention to that moment there. And that was the episode. I wrote one note here at the end, and I wrote that the animated squid comparison versus the baby Yoda who was kind of afraid of the squid in the cockpit of the Razor Crest. The baby Yoda's puppetry is a world of different when you compare. Let me just show you the part. Right about here. You see how real it looks? And then you cut over to this puppet, which doesn't look alive. As alive as that. I don't know, man. All I see is a baby. Back to me. All I see is a baby with strings going like this. The blinking looks really nice. And the ears move a little bit. But it's just not the same as that squid that was guaning like... If that's just my opinion there. I am a CGI fan. Of course, budgets are going to come into play, and the little Yoda guy does get CGI'd. I remember when in that earlier episode from... No, it was episode 2 right at the beginning when they were on the speeder. They trip and they fall over. I remember that moment that it looked like the baby was rolling and I could see its feet. I remember, oh, that they definitely CGI'd that. It wasn't just a puppet that they threw and they filmed it. CGI though is the way to go. Imagine Ahsoka like gives it a lightsaber and he just knows what to do with it already. That's gonna be crazy. Let's read some more stuff. Every power is magic because powers are a magic system. But isn't it science because of the midichlorians? Okay, it's science fiction. It's science according to that world. Everything is science. Even in like Marvel, they always say that magic is just science we don't understand. Yeah, every magic is science then in that logic. Yeah, it just might be show running, yeah. We're talking about Deborah Chow, right? Remember that the Jedi are somewhat myth to most, and myths get exaggerated with each telling. So who do they think took out what's his name? Darth Vader. It was Luke and the rebels, wasn't it? He's got his doubts though. I know in the sequel trilogy there's a moment where Han Solo tells Rey and Finn, the Jedi, it's real, the Force, all of it. Remember that? But this is like even before that, and he still doesn't know anything about the Jedi. And he was alive during the Clone Wars. Ugh, there's no explaining that. I'll just have to accept it, even though I would prefer him to be well learned in the Jedi way. Whatever. Razor Crest going over the moon gives me a New Hope vibes. Mark, he agrees. You gotta say the CGI and the cinematography in the show is next level. There is no show doing it like this. I've been impressed with the CGI on the Mandalorians flying around. I agree with you guys there. I'm just saying, the baby Yoda looks like a puppet all the time. Even when they lift it up sometimes, it just looks like a puppet. When they're carrying it and stuff. Give me like some CGI feet dangling or something. It's expensive and puppetry is way cheaper. Every media with magic says that it's a form of science. It's one of the biggest cliches ever. I know, I felt like I was being a cliche as I was saying what I was saying. Should we bring this to a close? Let's go like another couple minutes of chit-chatting. What did we all think of the episode? I asked that first. So, rated out of 10. I give it a 9. And who else gave it a 9? Was that you, Mark? You also gave it a 9. Everyone give your opinion on the show. I'm excited so much for the next episode. I'm just going to be on the edge of my seat, Hoping it's Ahsoka. Hoping it's Ahsoka. They got to go to the forest planet of Kother. They got to go to a forest planet somewhere. Figure it out. See her. She's gonna be probably like, I don't know, in sitting down Hindu style, rocks floating all around her. 9 out of 5, 9.5, yeah. Just gonna say I called Bo-Katan and the Night Owls being in this episode. Is that right? So were they the Night Owls? They were the Night Owls, weren't they? That's the name of her group, not Death Watch, but Night Owls. Okay. That sounds like something I should know if I watched every episode of Rebels, which I didn't. Which is kind of why I'm doing a Clone Wars rewatch right now that I have Disney Plus, and I will go to Rebels next. That's the plan, at least. They should go to Dagobah and find Yoda's house. Ooh, does Ahsoka know that Yoda? Wait. This is after Dagobah. Okay, yeah. So they would find Yoda's house. That is pure fan service, and they are not beyond that. They could just do that. That would be a harder one to explain than going to Tatooine, right? Maybe Din Djarin will know the language over there on Dagobah also. As far as I know, Dagobah is an isolated planet, isn't that right? How many other life did we see? Maybe some wildlife when Luke was training, see some birds flying and stuff. We could hear them chirping, but Dagobah is pretty isolated. Bo-Katan's reveal, it was cool. I also like how she's someone who you can tell from very far away. She's got the thing that goes over her face, so they didn't need to say, I'm Bo. It didn't need that. As soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh, yo, that's Bo-Katan. That looks just like the animated thing. That's cool. That's kind of why we need more diversity in aliens. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just have a bunch of human characters all the time. Show me people who I can tell who they are apart from each other. This is something I heard Sasha Banks say, actually. She said in an interview, she comes out and wears all the things that she wears and has the colorful hair. She said, you have to look like a Halloween character. You gotta look like a Halloween costume character. It's important. The carbon copy of her character in Clone Wars, I was impressed. And maybe, and I'm just rolling it here, find his Force ghost and he just disappears at the end. But to see the Force ghost, you should also be a Force user too, don't you? I've only ever seen Jedi talk to dead Jedi in the past. It would be Rey, it would be Luke, and Obi-Wan, I want to say. We've never actually seen just regular folks. Oh, there's a Jedi that I know. It'll be a first, and I don't want to see it. I hope the planet that Ahsoka is on is Dagobah-like forest planet. Why not? Katie Sackhoff rocks. That's the name of Bo-Katan's actress, right? Good for her. Could have got Ashley Eckstein, but settle for Rosario Dawson. Rosario. It's a galaxy far away. There should be more alien cultures than human ones, and there are in Clone Wars. Dave Filoni, George Lucas, they made sure of that. It's Kate. Actually, since we're talking about alien cultures and stuff, I feel that we had a whole lot of aliens in episode 2 also. Whenever he could include a new character, George Lucas made it an alien. The Caminos, the guy Jax, that guy, who's the slave owner of Anakin. That dude was a different species. The villain who Anakin was pod racing against was an alien species. Greedo was in there in a deleted scene too. Lucas did a lot of aliens when he could, but like for the people who are gonna be the main actors, okay, he used human beings for that. Much less expensive. Oh, I was thinking of E3, like what, the video game convention? What are you talking about? No, yeah. Chris says he likes episode 3 more than episode 1 and 2. I liked episode 1 a lot. Episode 1 was a 10. I'll still give episode 1 the and plus it had the length. I'll give episode 1 the nod. Episode 3 I'll give it a 9, but I understand completely why you would consider this. Just watch the best episode. Just watch the previous 29 minutes of my review here. Sweet, I finally made it in one of these. James, you finally made it. Talk to me. What did you think of the episode? Rate it. James always comments more recently. It's okay they make up on new Jedi powers all the time. Yeah, I don't like that though. That doesn't mean it's okay. That's more of a they make up new powers to Jedi all the time. Okay. New is good. Don't contradict old things, and don't restrict yourself. Don't write yourself in a box. Don't make me think, okay, well, if the Jedi could do that, then they can be able to do that the next time. For example, Mary Poppins, Leia, you see her floating in space. Okay, well, if it's possible for that move to be done, then I'm never. Then how come in all the old Clone Wars, all the old stuff, like when Plo Koon, Jedi Master, sitting on the council, he was abandoned in space, and he was saying how this could be it, telling all those clones, this is it. But apparently Leia could do the space thing, so could he, because he was a Jedi Master. You know what I mean? I don't. So yeah, new is okay, just as long as it doesn't write you in a corner. You say this was fun as always, but I gotta bounce, please. Thank you for joining me. You might be gone by the time you heard me say that. Watto. Watto. What are you correcting me? What word did I say? Is Watto like slang that I just don't understand? Watto. I don't think anything can top episode 1. Ahsoka Tano can top episode 1. If we get a good 34-minute episode with Ahsoka, that's gonna top it. We need alien main characters. In comic books, absolutely. In cartoons, absolutely. I doubt it'll ever happen in a TV budget. Maybe a movie. And you know what? Alien doesn't mean, everything CGI'd on their face. Be creative. Maybe just put something that the actors can clip on their ears, and then boom, they got horns, and then you just created a new species, and it's an alien. That's all. Dave Filoni has to surprise with more surprises. Chopper. Oh, that's the little droid. 15 out of 10. Yeah, Chopper. I'll take Chopper. Why not? That would be a good little Easter egg. More than an Easter egg, he should be significant to the plot. Or as significant to the plot as he was in Rebels. They do that shit all of the time. They can hide random Jedi powers, though. The mysteries of the Force. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't do it all the time. And I don't like it all the time that they do it. Like Luke Skywalker using his powers to project himself at the end of Last Jedi. I wasn't a fan. It's like every time you wrote a comment, Chris, I was going back to The Last Jedi to tell you, well, this is my issue. Did not like that movie. By the way, the length of the shows is strange. Episode 1 is 54 minutes, episode 2 is 42 minutes, and 3 was 35 minutes. I give it a 7. I assume length has to do with that, huh? Watto is Anakin's owner. Oh, thanks. Okay. You trying to Jedi mind trick on me? Mind tricks don't work on me, only money. That hurt my voice. The Toydarian. The Toydarian. I loved his voice too. I'll take it. That's why I liked Amy Sedaris from the last episode. She's cool, man. Why do people hate on that guy? On her. Especially, and the dude with the Horatio, the guy with the blue face from the very, very first episode of season 1. That guy had a cool little voice. He's like, hey, I'm gonna look for the bathroom downstairs if you don't mind. If it's all the same to you, I'm just gonna go downstairs. Like, no, his voice wasn't just like that. It was a little bit better than how I was doing it. But I liked his voice, man. Give me some of that. I'll take Boba Fett over Ahsoka any day, to be honest. We differ on that. Episode 1 and 2, but they were bottle episodes. I like the connected character stuff more. Bo-Katan. Okay, that's the word we're gonna call it. A bottle episode. Yeah, you're right. Mandalorian is bottle episode heavy. Give me more. One leads into another. Do you think we will see Boba again in the season? Yeah, I do. Then give Filoni the Ahsoka show. Absolutely. See you later. I'd love for Filoni to get an Ahsoka show. I'd love for Filoni to get an Ahsoka show. We all agree with that. He doesn't got to direct every single episode, but a Dave Filoni Ahsoka show would be sweet. That is the review of episode 3 of Mandalorian season 2. Assalamu alaikum.